So, wow, seriously, what a day for the Switch today. We knew and have heard all of the hype regarding SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, as well as the new free Pokemon Cafe Puzzler. But we were also blessed today by the Switch gods to be able to play Star Wars Episode 1 Racer as well. What's going on, you guys? My name is Ryan, aka Arpit. If this is your first time to the channel, please make sure and hit that subscribe button if you love the Nintendo Switch, because that is what this channel is all about. And today we are going to be getting into Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, so let's get into it. Now, like I said, this game dropped today, and I just happened to be looking at my phone while I was playing the new SpongeBob game today, and I was pleasantly surprised to find this game release, and I knew I had to download it immediately. This game was supposed to release back in May, but it got delayed, and I don't ever remember really seeing an announcement for like a new release date, but we did get it today, which is awesome. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, you probably weren't alive back in the late 90s, back when this game originally released. However, this game is still revered today as one of the best Star Wars games to date, and for good reason. I mean, I remember playing this game back on the Nintendo 64 when I was a kid, and I remember just having a blast with this game. Now, this isn't your typical modern day racer. Instead of focusing on hitting speed boosts or getting the right weapons to take out opponents, your goal is to make it across the finish line first while making sure that your pod racer doesn't fall apart in the process. If your pod racer takes too much damage from hitting walls or other racers, your pod racer explodes, which can actually happen more often than you think. Your pod racer does have a boost, however, if you use it too long, it will overheat, requiring you to repair your engines mid-race. The repair function is pretty unique because if you're taking damage or overheat your engine, like I said, you have the option to repair it while you're racing. However, it costs you time and speed. This feature is actually something that makes this game kind of amazing to watch, because if your engine is close to overheating, your pod racer will start spewing these little black fumes, and once it hits that overheated level, you see one of your engines burst into flames. Now, this version really captures it really well, I feel like, and it's just an awesome feature that really immerses you into the racer and feels like you are the one in that pod racer. Now, let's talk about how this game runs specifically for the Nintendo Switch. Honestly, the controls feel really amazing. Typically with these 20-year-old game ports, there's a little disconnect with some controls, but honestly, I felt like the developers hit it out of the park. One thing I will say that there is no tutorial, so whether you are new to the game or you haven't played in a couple of decades, you will want a refresher on the controls, and the only way that you can see those is through the options menu. One nice thing that they added though is that if you do go to the options menu and look at the control screen, you can adjust the controls to how you'd like if you don't like how it's set up for you. Now, when it came to how the game ran, one thing I will say that is in one race that I did, I hit a rock and I was respawning, and I'm pretty sure I just respawned into another rock, and it basically made me not be able to move. And I just had to quit out of the race because there's not really an option to back out or like respawn or anything like that. So it was either restarting the race or just quitting, and so I had to restart it. So that definitely was a little frustrating, but that was really the only encounter that I had for any major issues. Your pod racer itself looks really great, and it feels fresh, and that's definitely the focal point of what you're looking at, so it makes sense that this is the best part, or like best looking part of the game. The character designs and the surrounding parts of each race it definitely shows the age of this game, because it definitely looks like it should be back on the Nintendo 64. But that's honestly, you know, that's kind of what you're expecting here. I really didn't mind this because, like I said, the focus is the pod racer, which really does look good. So probably the only issue I had in terms of graphics was the map, and that's only because it's hard to see where you are compared to other racers. Like, even if you're in first, you don't really know. It's hard to know how close that second racer is to you. So The other pod racers are supposed to be yellow dots, while the track line is green dots, and it can be a little hard on the eye sometimes. You kind of start to get used to it over time, but I do wish the map could have been a little different or updated, I guess. Now there are 21 total characters with 21 total tracks across 8 different worlds. And many of the characters and tracks you are able to unlock through the single player tournament mode. Now there are 3 single player game modes that are available in the game. So in tournament mode, the one I just mentioned, your character competes in essentially different championships, which consists of like 7 races. And as you complete races, you're awarded with money, with higher rank finishes resulting in more money being awarded. And you can actually adjust the type of, I guess, reward you would say. So you can do like a winner takes all, which just means if you get first, you get like all the money, but if you get second or below, you get nothing. You can do more balanced, where there's not a huge difference between first and fourth place. So there's different adjustments you can make there. So if you're feeling pretty confident, then you can do the winner takes all if you feel like you're gonna end up in first, so that you end up with a higher payout, things like that. And you use this money to buy parts or repair droids and things like that. And so there's when it comes to the parts to upgrade your pod racer, you can either go to the junkyard or you can buy like brand new parts. So another single player mode is the free race mode, which allows you to practice any previously unlocked course with any unlocked character. And you don't earn money or anything through this. It's very casual, but you can set the difficulty of the opponents. It ranges with slow, medium, and hard. You could also choose how many computer players that you want to race against, as well as how many laps you want to race. And time attack pits you against the clock, obviously, so you're just racing to try and complete the course as fastest. And the upgrades that you do make in tournament mode carry over to both free play and time, which is kind of cool. Now this game also offers a 2-player split screen. Somehow I was able to convince my wife Sarah to play 1 lap on the easiest tracks, just so that I could show you guys some gameplay of how it looks. And from what you can see here on the screen, it looks pretty good. Now the only difference here is that there is no track map, but it does show you with a specific number where you are at compared with other players. And honestly, I like this better than the map. Like I mentioned before, the map was kind of like my least favorite part of the game. But you know, that's something that's not gonna change. So now one thing that I know would be a lot to ask of this game was an online multiplayer. I just am so bummed that this wasn't a feature that they added. I mean, I get it. It's not like a remastered with, you know, a bunch of different features. I mean, it's only 15 bucks, right? So it is just a port with the original features and everything. But I mean, I would have paid double or triple the price just for the multiplayer, because I mean, this game seriously is a lot of fun, and it really does control great. And so just being able to compete against other players online would have been really awesome. But just know that when you do purchase this game, that there isn't any online multiplayer. The most multiplayer option is just the 2-player local split screen. Now, should you buy this game? So like I said, this game is priced on the eShop for $14.99. Now, whether you are a newcomer or a returning player, I really do think this game is a must-buy. I don't think the price point is unreasonable at all, and this is just such a unique racing game. Obviously, if you're a huge fan of Star Wars, this is like a 1000% must-buy, right? Especially for you hardcore fans that know who actually all of these characters are. Most of you will probably only know like Anakin Skywalker and Sebulba, because those are like the 2 most prominent racers in the first Star Wars movie, right? But so obviously if you're a Star Wars fan, you have to buy this game. But honestly, I just love that the controls were so smooth. It looked great for being a 20-year-old game. And I love that this is a racer that focuses more on taking care of your pod racer more than getting good weapons to take out opponents. So I really feel like it's a game that is meant to be mastered. And I also love that there's so many different characters and each character has its own strengths and weaknesses. So depending on the type of player you are, you can definitely find a racer that fits your playstyle. Very unique, and it's something that I think a lot of people will enjoy, especially because Star Wars has been able to be relevant for so long. I do think whether you're young or old, this really is a game that can be loved by most. I would say probably the only people that wouldn't want to buy this game is people who just can't stand like really old graphics from a few console generations ago, right? So it's not a remastered game, it's definitely just a port. But if that's not something that isn't a big deal for you, it's really an experience, like I said, that can be loved by all. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure and hit that like button. Again, if you guys are new here to the channel, make sure and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any new Nintendo Switch videos that I post, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.